third and playing catcher, number 32, Brady Patterson. Batting cleanup and playing first base, number 26, Frankie Santiago. Hitting fifth and playing DH, number 22, Freddie Nolan. Batting sixth and playing right field, number 3, Tanner Bajorek. Hitting seventh and playing left field, number 45, John Kaimi. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 7, Austin Burrows. Batting nine and playing center field, number 6, Brady Kern. And on the mound for the Blue Devils will be number 9, Caleb Deer.
All right, welcome back to the second game, everyone. The turnaround is always so tough up here in the press box, but here we go. Caleb Deer will be on the mound for the Blue Devils. He has a 3.38 ERA. He is 0-0 on the year as he does not have a decision yet. He is from Overland Park, Kansas, number 99. On the mound for the Blue Devils. The Greyhounds will go with Mike Polubinski, Stout, Jarrett Nelson, then Josh Polubinski, Joey Little, Galuski, Slot, Shigematsu, and Rush with Easton Smith on the mound. So there's quickly, in a nutshell, the lineups. Behind Deer is Kaimi, Kern, and Pachorik. Across the outfield, Burrows, Goldbeck, Basler, and Santiago. Across the infield, and Patterson will be behind the plate again. So here we go with this one. Mike Polubinski will step in and face Deer first.
Number 21, Mike Polubinski.
Polubinski was
Do you have a cube for that apple cover? Thank you.
0-1 the count. And that's low and inside. One and one the count. Misses just a little bit outside. All right, let's see if we can get things lined out and ready to go here. There's a foul ball down the right field side, and that's headed for the trees. 2 balls and 2 strikes as we get started in this one. Excuse me. Deer on the mound, 2-2 the count to Mike Polubinski. That misses just a little bit outside, so both the Polubinski brothers are in there in this one. Full count now. There's a foul ball off the foot of Mike Polubinski. We'll do the 3-2 again. That's just foul down the right field line. Three balls, two strikes, first hitter of the second game. The Blue Devils took the first game 3-2 in 10 innings. There's another ball that's headed for the woods and into the woods. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming here. And there is a base hit past the diving Burrows, and headed for second base is Mike Polubensky with the double. That's going to bring up Luke Stout.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Luke Stout.
Stout was 1 for 4 in the first game with a base hit, had a walk. And he's hit by a pitch. So that'll bring up Nelson.
Now batting the first baseman, number 17, Jarrett Nelson.
Nelson will step in with one out. Nope, shouldn't be one out up there. I'm looking up crazy. So a double and a hit by pitch. There we go. The scoreboard is very touchy. That we have figured out. And the runners go. And the stolen bases. So somebody somewhere said, hey, we don't have anything to lose. We just as well start going. 0-1 the count. Called that a strike. There's a base hit into left field. So 2 RBI base hit for Nelson after the first 3 hitters. And the Greyhounds take
now batting the DH, number 12,
a 2-0 lead. So that's going to bring up Josh Polubensky. Way outside. Runner gonna move up on the pass ball. So we'll get a quick visit to the mound for a, hey, let's calm things down here. See how short the leash is on Caleb Deere. We'll be back. All right, visit to the mound is over. Runner at second base, still nobody out. The runner heads for third, and the stolen base by Nelson. So runner at third now with nobody out. Josh Polubensky at the plate. Josh Polubensky starts the day batting .328. See if I've got my Polubensky straight on who's been in and who hasn't. This is Josh's first at bat as the DH. There he fouled that one down. So 2-2 the count. Two balls, two strikes. Three batters and 2 runs in for the Greyhounds. That's down and nicely blocked by Patterson. So 3-2 the count now. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Sharp breaker right there. Not a sweeping ball, but a strikeout, a punch out. That's going to bring up Joey Little.
Now batting the left fielder, number 11, Joey Little.
Little was 1 for 4 in the first game, had a walk and a base hit. Misses a little bit inside, 1-0 the count. Little was 1 for 4. There's a foul ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on here in the first. There's a foul ball off the foot of Little, the left fielder. So 1-2 the count now. Things kind of fast and furious there. We can settle things down a little bit and go after coming back and getting this one. The Blue Devils split with the Greyhounds down Wednesday down in Fort Scott and then took the first one here today. There's a breaking ball. Golbeck's going to be up with that and a throw over. So Little with the ground out plates another run for the Greyhounds.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Ty Galuski.
So that'll bring up Galuski. 3-0 lead now. So now there'll be 2 outs. That misses a little bit low and inside. Galuski, the catcher, he caught the first game as well. Galuski was 1 for 5 in the first game. He had a base hit, a couple of unassisted ground outs down to first, and a couple of flyouts. Swing and a miss of that pitch. 1-2 the count. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The Greyhounds with 3 runs on 2 hits so far here in the top of the first. Foul ball back to the screen. Ty Galuski, the catcher. Two. Ground ball at Golbeck, charge, and a 1-hopper with the backhand short hop scoop by Santiago. So the Greyhounds get 3 runs on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the first. The Blue Devils trailing by 3. We'll be back. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the second inning. Blue Devils give up 3 runs to the Greyhounds in the top of the first. On the mound is Easton Smith. He's from Glen Heights, Texas. He has a 4.76 ERA and 1-0 so far on the season for him. Scheduled to face him is Basler, Golbeck, and Patterson. The Blue Devils start with a 3-run uphill battle to take off here, and we'll see how they do with that. Basler, the second baseman, he will start things off here for the Blue Devils.
Leading off the bottom of the first inning for the Blue Devils, the second baseman, number 2, Peyton Basler.
Basler was 2 for 5 in the first game, a double and a single. He'll step in to lead things off here in the bottom of the first for the Blue Devils. That's outside for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Want to know the count. Swing and a foul into the glove. There's a strike right through there. That's outside. 2-2 the count on the leadoff hitter for the Blue Devils. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Peyton Basler, the second baseman. There's a foul ball headed down to the bullpen area, the workout area on top of the hitting net down there. So we'll do the 2-2 again. That's up high. Little Slot and Mike Polubinski across the outfield. Stout, Rush, Shigematsu, and Jarrett Nelson across the infield. Galuski behind the plate again with Easton Smith on the mound. There's a ball headed down and toward the woods. So the 8th pitch of the at-bat forthcoming. And fouled back over toward the third base dugout again. Make that 9 pitches for this at-bat. Swing and a miss for the swing and a foul into the glove of Galuski, actually.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 4, Garrick Golbeck.
That's going to bring up Gary Golbeck. Golbeck will step in. That's not good to have a bug on the camera right there. Hopefully that's high and outside. So we'll stay away from that camera. I'll maybe see if I can spin that around to get him to fly off there so we can use that. There's a strike. That would be the number 2 camera. So let's see if So 1-2 the count. And a strike 3 called.
Now batting, catcher number 32, Brady Patterson.
That's going to bring up Brady Patterson. I believe it to be a honeybee, I do.
You can call it 4 Bs. He's moving around.
So instead of 4 T's up here, the guys say it could be 4 B's with that particular. And I'm not having any luck getting him to get his backside off of there, so we'll watch to see if he goes away. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs.
It's on that camera?
Yes. There's a ground ball headed in the third baseman, and the throw is up the line by Stout, and Nelson puts on the tag. We go to the top of the second inning. Blue Devils lead 3-0. All right, I'm back from B retrieval on the camera. Donovan Johnson comes in to pitch for the Blue Devils, number 30. He's from Spring Hill, Kansas. Has a 6.25 ERA with a 4-1 record. So coming to the plate will be
Now batting here for the Greyhounds,
Shigematsu.
number 2, Maka Shigematsu.
Shigematsu will step in with the runner at first base and nobody out. Another throw over to first base, a couple of those. Shigematsu at the plate. There's a strike called on him. He was 1 for 3 in the first game with a base hit and was hit by a pitch. 0-1 the count on him. Another toss over to first, back in safely. That's outside. There's a strike called, catches the outside corner, 1-2 the count. Misses just a bit, 2-2 the count. Two balls, two strikes, nobody out. Runner at first base is Aiden Slott, the center fielder. Runner goes. There's a high fly ball to the right side. It's going to be taken care of right at the change of my camera's spots. That fly out to Brady Kern by Shigematsu.
Now batting the shortstop, number 3, Owen Rush.
That'll bring up Owen Rush. Rush was 0 for 1 in the first game, had a sac bunt, a walk for an RBI. The second walk was a big out at home plate to preserve the lead, or to preserve actually the tie at that time. Runner goes. And a swing and a strike. The batter just took a swing to kind of be a protector of that, so the stolen base. So 2-1 the count. There's a ground ball headed to the right side. It's going to be underhanded. So Santiago way off the bag to get that. And Donovan Johnson covering for the 3-1 ground out. There's 2 outs now and back to the top of the order.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Mike Polominski.
Mike Polominski will come up. He's from Plainfield, Illinois. He'll step in with 2 outs and a runner at third base. There's a high chopper that's going to be taken. Donovan Johnson was going to try and take it. That's going to be a base hit no matter what happened in that outcome. and that's going to bring in another run.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Luke Stout.
So that makes it 4-0. That's going to bring up Luke Stout. Stout is from Midwest City, Oklahoma. Toss over to first. Not much going on over there with Polubinski. There's a stolen base. By Mike Polubinski. Runner at second base and 2 outs now. Stout, the third baseman, was hit by a pitch his first time up. It's low and outside. Misses outside again, 2-1 the count. Misses outside again. Foul ball. So 3-2 now the count. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that's ball 4. It's going to bring up Jarrett Nelson, the first baseman.
Now batting the first baseman, number 17, Jarrett Nelson.
Nelson had a 2 RBI base hit into left his last time up. Check swing, foul ball. Owen won the count. Misses low and outside. One ball, 1 strike on Jarrett Nelson, the first baseman. Low and outside again, 2-1 the count. And 3-1 the count. Fly ball into right field. That's going to be taken by Pachorik. The Blue Devils have done a good job keeping Nelson in the yard today. He is second in the nation with home runs. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. Blue Devils trailing 4-0. Got some work to do. Let's go, Blue Devils. I'll be back. Frankie Santiago will lead things off. Reese Cordum from Lincoln, Nebraska comes to the mound. First pitch to Santiago was high and outside. He has a 4.11 ERA. 2-1 is his record. Lefty on the mound, so moving over to the right-handed side to hit is Santiago, as well as Basler will the next time it comes around. There's a strike right through there. Santiago was 0 for 3 in the first game. Had a nice play by the second baseman Shigematsu to take away a base hit. Headed for right field, a diving stop and throw. There's the ball headed to deep right field. On the run is the center fielder Slot. Slot makes a great play on Santiago. So Shigematsu and Slot have taken away hits from Santiago.
Now batting the DH, number 22, Freddie Nolan.
So that'll bring up Freddie Nolan, the fourth. Nolan, the fourth, was 0 for 2 in the first game with a couple of walks. First pitch is a strike to him. Breaking ball makes it back to the zone so quickly. 0-2 the count. Pitch stays outside, so 2-1 the count. Tall lefty on the mound, on in relief of Easton Smith is Reese Cordum. There's a ball headed to left, and that's deep to left, and that's out. So Nolan the fourth with the home run. Freddie Nolan the fourth with the home run. That's going to put the Blue Devils on the board and cut the lead to 4-1.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3, Tanner Pajorik.
That'll bring up Pajorik. Takes outside ball one. Pajorik was 1 for 3 with a double in the first game after pinch hitting. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Pajorik. There's a hit by a pitch. So Pajorik heads down to first. It's going to bring up Kaimi.
Now batting the left fielder, number 45, John Kaimi.
Kaimi was 0 for 2. Had a sac bunt and a walk in the first game. There's a strike, breaking ball right through there. 0-1 the count. Breaking ball, that's going to be fouled. And the wind keeps that fair, and so Jarrett Nelson with another foul ball catch.
Now batting the third baseman, number 7, Austin Burrows.
That brings up Austin Burrows. Burrows was 1 for 3 in the first game, had a sac fly and a base hit. There's a strike called. Burrows, the third baseman, he's up there with 2 outs, and Pajorik at first base. Snap throw over to first, back in safely is Pajorik. Runner goes. And safe at second base is Pachorik with the stolen base.
No ball. Are you sure?
0-2 the count.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't see it. I was gonna throw it out.
Breaking ball waits on it and sprays it over the first base dugout to the softball field. Blue Devils trailing 4-1 here as they bat in the bottom of the second inning. The first game went extra innings, so this one is a 7-inning game rather than a 9. That ball stays outside, 1-2 the count. The ball headed down the right field line and going to be off the top of the dugout and down the hill. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Burrows, the third baseman.
Okay, now I'm seeing the Jamal Charles thing.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base. There's a ground ball headed at Rush. He's up with it and a high throw. That's going to be an error on the shortstop, Rush. But the Blue Devils will take that run.
Now batting the center fielder, number 6, Brady Kern.
So that'll bring up Brady Kern. Kern will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. There's a strike right through there. And going to be out at second base on the delayed steal. So Pachorik caught stealing.
Your score after 2 innings complete, the Greyhounds up 4-2.
Blue Devils trail
Blue
4
Athletics would like to thank BSN Sports for being the official
To
provider of Nike
2
apparel for all our student athletes.
as
and
we
coaches. BSN, the heart of the game.
go to the top of the third inning. I'll be back. For 4-2 is correct. We have 2 runs on 1 hit. They have correct.
Leading off the top of the
All
third inning
right.
for the Greyhounds, the DH number 12, Josh Polominski.
To the top of the third we go, behind on some paperwork. I'll get to it here in a second. There's a strike on the outside corner. Top of the third inning. First pitch is a strike. There's a ground ball headed at Santiago. He's going to go over and step on the base. And Josh Polabinski grounds out unassisted. He is from Plainfield, Illinois,
Now batting the left
with
fielder,
the
number
ground
11,
out.
Joey Little.
It's going to bring up Joey Little. Little will be up there with 1 out and nobody on. Little is from Hawthorne Woods, Illinois, and there's a base hit right up the middle for a base hit. So that's going to bring up Galuski.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Ty Galuski.
Galuski is from Morgantown, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
There's a ball hit down the left field line, and that's going to be foul. Not foul by much. Into that corner down there. Owen won the count. Headed down there again. And running into the wall down there. That's going to be extra bases. Gets it back in quick, so that's tough out there in left field.
Tough one right at the wall, bro.
So Kaimi, a tough one running into the corner, so that's going to be a double for Galuski.
I thought that was going to be gone for a second, too. Now batting the center fielder, number 10, Aiden Slot.
That'll bring up Aiden Slot. Breaking ball outside. Slot is from Willis, Texas. That falls down low. 2-0 the count. Two and 0. That's a little bit low. Slot had a base hit his last time up and stole a base at that time. 3-0 the count. There's ball 4. So that's going to load it up for Shigematsu. We're going to get a visit to the mound. We'll see if there's any changes. We'll be back. That's the dreaded, hey, the heck out of here. I want to chew on his ass by myself.
Batting the second baseman, number 2, Maka Shigematsu.
Maka Shigematsu steps in with 1 out and the bases loaded. Need a 1 hopper right at one of the middle infielders here for a double play. We'll see what happens. Here comes the pitch. That's a strike, catches the outside corner. Maka Shigematsu is from Eli, Hawaii. That's low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Blue Devils trailing 4-2 here in the top of the 3rd inning. That's going to be foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Nicely blocked by Patterson. 2-2 the count now.
I know it's windy out there.
Foul ball. Shigematsu battling with Donovan Johnson. Shigematsu flew out to center field his last time out. It's outside for ball 3. So the bases loaded with a 3-2 count here. 1 out. Bases full of Greyhounds. There's a ball headed into left field. That'll score 1. So Shigematsu with the base hit to the opposite field. They go up 5-2. That's going to bring up Owen Rush.
Now batting shortstop, number 3, Owen Rush.
5-2 the score now. Bases loaded. Still just 1 out. That ball misses just a little bit up and or out. 1-0 the count. Rush grounded out to first base with the pitcher covering his first time up. Santiago ranged away and Johnson was covering. 1 out, 2-0 the count here. Bases still loaded. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
2-1. It said 2. It put on 2-1.
2-1. Very good. Thank you. There's strike 2 now. See, we had it right. 2-2 the count. Breaking ball waits on it. Gonna hand it over, and so Goldbeck to Basler to Santiago for the 6-4-3 to erase the bases loaded there, but they get 1 run on 3 hits. We go to the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Blue Devils trailing 5-2. I'll be back. All right, to the bottom of the 3rd we go.
Center fielder, number 6, Brady Kern.
It's going to bring up Brady Kern. Basler and Goldbeck scheduled to follow. That's way outside. Kern was 1 for 4 in the first game, had a base hit. There's a strike called 1-1 the count. There's strike 2. 1-2 the count. Brady Kern, the center fielder, at the plate. Reese Cordham on the mound from Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a foul ball fouled over onto the soccer field. We'll do the 1-2 again. And the swing and a miss by Kern. Back to the top of the order.
Now batting the second baseman, number 2, Peyton Basler.
Peyton Basler will step in. Basler is from Lansing, Kansas. He steps in with 1 out and nobody on. So strike catches the outside corner. There's strike 2. Basler struck out his first time up on a foul tip held by Galuski. 0-2 here. Stays outside. 1-2 the count. Stays outside, does that pitch. So 3-2 the count. On the switch, hitting Peyton Basler, who moved to the right-handed side here. There's a foul ball back to the screen, so we'll do the 3-2 again. Swing and a miss on that ball. Actually fouled it into the glove of Galuski, says the umpire.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Garrick Goldbeck.
That's going to bring up Gary Goldbeck. Goldbeck is from Kansas City, Kansas. First pitch is a strike. So Reese Cordham comes in throwing strikes on the first pitches especially. Has a sweeping breaking ball that starts out wide and gets back to the zone. There's a ball headed down the right field line, and that's going to be foul. Oh, 2 the count on Goldbeck. There's a ball headed into right field. So Goldbeck with the base hit makes a hard turn and heads back.
By Garrick Goldbeck.
So a 2-out base hit. That's going to bring up Patterson.
Number 32, Brady Patterson.
Patterson is from Auburn, Kansas. He'll step in with 2 outs and go back at first base after that 2-out base hit to right. Breaking ball stays out wide. Want to know the count? There's a strike right through there. 1 ball, 1 strike. We'll throw to first, go back in easily. There's strike 2 called, 1-2 the count. Stays outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Foul ball back to the screen. We'll do the 2-2 again. Ball breaks way inside, so 3-2 the count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So the umpire behind the plate's trying to get the other umpire to move to the other side by continuing to show 3-2. There's a little soft line drive to the first baseman, Jarrett Nelson, for the out. So the Blue Devils get no runs on 1 hit. And we go to the top of the 4th inning. Blue Devils trailing 5-2. Remember, this one is a 7-inning game due to the extras in the first game. I'll be back. All right. Top of the 5th inning we go. Back to the top of the order, and Mike Polubinski, Stout, and Jarrett Nelson. Looks like I was behind on my paperwork. All right. Just checking with the guys here to be sure I've got my innings right. My scorecard shows the 4th, but looking at the scoreboard looks differently. The scoreboard's kind of touchy. You never know what you're going to get when you push buttons over there. Polubinski's had a double and a single in this game. That is Mike Polubinski. He was the number 6 hitter in the first game, playing in right field. Now he's leadoff playing in right field. That's low and outside. One and two that count.
Yeah, I can fix it here in a second.
And we have the errors, we have 0.
I clicked, we have no errors.
1 and 2 the count, maybe 2 and 2 the count now. Working on the scoreboard, it is touchy and putting up some weird numbers. See if we can get those fixed. There's a high chopper. Burrows grabs that on the second hop and shoots it over to Santiago for the 5-3 ground out. And that's going to bring up Luke Stout.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Luke Stout.
Stout's been hit by a pitch and reached on a base on balls in this game. He had a stolen base as well.
Thank you.
There's a one hopper off the glove of Burrows. So the base hit by Stout.
Is that a hit?
Yeah, that's it.
That's going to bring up Nelson.
Now batting the first baseman, number 17, Jarrett Nelson.
Nelson has had an RBI double and a fly out to right field in this one. He'll step in with a runner at first base and one out. The Greyhounds lead 5-2. That's in the dirt, backhanded by Patterson.
Wish we just had one game, bro.
Toss over to first base. Back in safely is Luke Stout. Misses low and inside. The Greyhounds with 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 1 in the third. Blue Devils with 2 in the second, 5-2's the score here in the top of the fourth. Swing and a foul into the glove of Patterson. 2 balls, 1 strike, and an out.
I mean, that's great for the runs. But not, he has 3 hits. But how many Ks?
Swing and another foul.
3 hits in series is pretty good, but they batted a lot, so. What do you think about
Jarrett Nelson, the first baseman at the plate. 2-2 the count. And a swing and a miss of that high heater right there. That's going to bring up Josh Polabinski.
Now batting the DH, number 12, Josh Polominski.
Josh Polabinski's been called out on strikes and grounded out and assisted to Santiago at first base. That's down low, 1-0 the count. Top of the fourth inning action scheduled 7-inning game. Donovan Johnson on the mound on relief of Caleb Deere. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Must have been a little bit low. 2-1 the count. So ball headed to the right side. That's taken by Basler and underhanded to Santiago for the 4-3 ground out. No runs on 1 hit for the Greyhounds. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Blue Devils trailing 5-2. All right, to the bottom of the fourth we go. Santiago, Nolan the fourth, and Pachorik scheduled up. For the Blue Devils, Reese Cordham back for another inning of work. There's a strike called. Reese Cordham, the first pitch to each batter generally is a strike. I'd like to know the stats on that. There's a swing and a foul for strike two, so Santiago quickly down in the count, 0-2. Way outside. 1-2 the count. There's a ball headed off the glove of the third baseman Stout, and headed to second with a double is Santiago.
Santiago.
So Santiago gets things started here for the Blue Devils. That will bring up Freddie Nolan the fourth.
Freddie Nolan.
Nolan the fourth is from Fort Worth, Texas. He takes strike one. Another first pitch strike for Cordham. Nolan the fourth had a solo home run his last time up. There's strike two called, so quickly 0-2 the count. That's an inconsistency in the bottom of the strike zone, in my opinion, right there. 0-2 the count. That's up high. 1-2 the count. Foul ball headed over toward the soccer area. It's a ball headed into center field. It's going to be taken by Slot, and headed for third is Santiago. So Santiago moves up on the fly ball to center field. That's going to bring up Pachorik.
Now batting the right fielder, number 30, Tanner Pachorik.
Pachorik was hit by a pitch his last time up. Low and inside, 1 out. Blue Devils with a run opportunity here. They need to capitalize, cut this 5-2 lead. That's inside. 2-0 the count on the right fielder, Tanner Pachorik. There's a strike called. Two balls and a strike, 1 out. Is a foul ball going to be out of play? The sigh, if you were able to hear the sigh over the foam covering of my microphone, it's the inconsistency of the top and the bottom of the strike zone, and thought maybe I was overreacting till I see Coach Goldbeck kind of chewing at him a little bit. There's a foul ball. Breaking ball stayed with it, fouled it back to the screen. 2-2 the count now. Tanner Pachorik, the right field, locked up in a battle with Reese Cordum. Reese Cordum from Lincoln, Nebraska. There's a ball hit at the second baseman. Shigematsu up with it and over to Nelson. But the ground out by Pachorik. He does a good job hitting it to the right side for a run. So that makes it a
Pinch hitting here for the Blue Devils, number 34.
5-3 game. So Levi Martin will pinch hit for Kanayimi. Levi will step in with 2 outs. There's a strike on the outside corner. Martin starts the day batting .318. All the way back to the fence. 1-1 the count. Martin is from Olathe, Kansas. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs now. Blue Devils have cut the lead to 2. There's a ground ball that's cut off by Stout, and the throw over to Nelson for the 5-3 ground out. And we go to the top of the 5th inning.
Complete. The Greyhounds are up 5.
The Blue Devils trailing the Greyhounds 5-3.
Greyhounds, the left fielder, number 11, Joey Little.
Little, Galuski, and Slot scheduled up. Little swings through that first pitch. He grounded out for an RBI and had a base hit. There's a strike on the outside corner. So quickly 0-2 the count. Johnson back for another inning of work. And a swing and a miss of Little for the strikeout. That's going to bring up Galuski.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Ty Galuski.
Galuski is grounded out to short and had a double into the left field corner. His 2 at-bats of this one. There's a strike right through there. 0-1 the count. Whew. Not sure where that ball missed. I heard somebody down front say, "Where was that one?" 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Foul ball over the third base dugout. So ground ball headed at Basler. He's up with it and over to Santiago for the 4-3 ground out. So a strikeout and a ground out, and that's going to bring up Aiden Slot.
Now batting center fielder, number 10, Aiden Slot.
Slot has had a base hit, a stolen base, and reached on the base on balls in this one. That's up high for ball 1. Want to know the count. There's a ball headed down the right field line, and that's going to be just short of the bullpen area. That's a tough play to make right there. Santiago went down to make an effort, but not able to haul it in. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Slot the center fielder.
I can tell with like the flag I would lose a couple times.
That's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-run lead for the Greyhounds of Fort Scott here in this final game of the 4-game series. We played 2 on Wednesday and 1, and we're in the second one today. That's down low, so 3-2 the count. Blue Devils took 1 of 2 down in Fort Scott. In the first game today, they won 3-2 in 10 innings. That's outside for ball 4. So a 2-out walk.
Now
That'll
batting
bring up
second baseman, number 2,
Shigematsu.
Maka Shigematsu.
Maka Shigematsu, the second baseman, he's been out on a fly to center field and had an RBI base hit to left his last time up. That's low and inside for ball 1. Shigematsu, the second baseman. Played shortstop the 2 games down at Fort Scott on Wednesday. A little toss over to first base. Nothing much going on over there. Reminder that this is a 7-inning game due to the first game going extras. That's going to be a wild pitch. And down to second goes Slot. The ground ball headed at Basler. He's up with it and over to Santiago for the 4-3 ground out. No runs on, no hits. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Blue Devils trailing 5-3.
number 7, Austin Burrows.
Burrows will lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th for the Blue Devils. They trail 5-3. There's a breaking ball right back through there. Another instance where Reese Cordham, who's back for another inning of work, first pitch strikes frequently from him. That's a little bit low. Looked pretty good right here, but the up and down consistency is tough. And I know it's not easy out there. It's been a long time, but I remember. There's a ground ball headed at Rush. He's up with it and over to Nelson for the 6-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Brady Kern.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 6, Brady Kern.
Kern struck out his first time up in this one. Kern is from Lawrence, Kansas. That misses for a ball. Burrows, I missed. He's from Pickrell, Nebraska. Missed with where he's from. That misses low and outside. 2-0 the count. It's down low. 3-0 the count. 1 out. Brady Kern at the plate. There's a strike right through there. Strike 2, inside corner with the fastball. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Cordham to Kern. That's down low for ball 4. So a 1 out walk and back to the top of the order in the Blue Devils.
Now batting, the second baseman, number 2, Peyton Basler.
So that'll bring up Basler. Basler has struck out twice and both times fouled it into the glove of the catcher, Galuski. There's a strike, catches the inside corner. 0-1 the count. Runner at first base is Kern. He reached on a walk, squares to bunt. Bunt is going to go foul. Stout waits until it goes foul and then tried to grab it. Knocked it back fair, but it was touched in foul territory. Therefore, we'll do it again. Owing to the count. Foul ball headed over to the soccer field. 0-2. Reese Cordham came on in relief of Easton Smith after 1 inning. So he's in his 4th inning of work. Little step off and a toss over. On to the count. Nicely blocked by the catcher, but got away just far enough for Kern to head down to second. So Kern moves up on the wild pitch. 1-2 the count. High and outside just a bit. Check swing executed. 2-2 the count. High fly ball into shallow left field. That's going to be taken and headed over to third is Kern. So the fly out to Little, and then the runner moves to third.
Now batting the shortstop, number 4, Garrett Goldbeck.
Garrett Goldbeck will now step in. He's up there with 2 outs and a runner at third base. See if Gary can get something on the outfield grass. Get this run in to cut the lead to 1. 1-0 the count on the shortstop Goldbeck. That's down low. 2-0 the count. Goldbeck, the shortstop, at the plate. In the dirt, nicely blocked by Galuski. It's outside for ball 4. Going to get a visit to the mound, probably a pitching change. When we come back, we are getting the pitching change. When we come back, Blue Devils trail by 2. They've got runners on with Patterson coming to the plate. I'll be back. Pitching change has been made by the Greyhounds. Number 55, Chandler Fowler, comes on. Excuse me, he's from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Has a 6.43 ERA and a 4-0 record thus far this season. Most all teams on the east side have 1 4-game series left. The Blue Devils yet to play Johnson County, and Fort Scott yet to play Neosho County. So 5-3 the score. Runners at the corners.
Now
Patterson to the
number
plate.
32, Brady Patterson.
Patterson will step in. He's grounded out to third base and hit a soft line drive to the right, to the first baseman, Nelson. That stays up high. 1-0 the count. Patterson like to get something on the outfield grass. At least he had the walk-off hit in the first game. That's up high, 2-0 the count. In the first game, he had 4 at-bats. The first 2 at-bats were a ground out and a fly out. Then he had a couple of strikeouts. Then he come back with the winning walk-off base hit for the Blue Devils, and that's inside. So 3-0 the count. And he needs to only look for one pitch in one spot here. He may be taking, but you don't know. There's a strike taken all the way, 3-1. You know, everyone used to always say walk's as good as a hit. Well, a walk will not score a run here where a hit will. But you also have Santiago behind him. There's a curveball, breaks right through there for the strike called, so 3-2 now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first will be going. Fouls it back to the screen. We'll do it again. So Patterson earns another pitch with that foul back. 3-2 the count. Chandler Fowler on in relief of Cordum. There's a foul back right back at us. I might have been able to catch that one.
We have that net rolling right towards us.
That's right. That one would have been in the window without the net, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
3 balls, 2 strikes. There's a ball to left field. Didn't get all of that, and Little takes care of it. So Patterson flies out to Little in left field.
After 5 innings complete, the Greyhounds still up here 5-3.
We go to the top of the 6th inning. Greyhounds leading the Blue Devils 5-3. All right, to the top of the 6th we go. Greyhounds leading the Blue Devils 5-3.
For the Greyhounds, the shortstop number 3, Owen Rush.
Owen Rush will step in. 7 innings scheduled game since we went extras in the first game. This one will be a 7. There's a strike right through there. Rush has grounded to first and grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in this one. That's up high. 1-1 the count. 5 runs on 9 hits and an error by Fort Scott. KCK Blue Devils 3 runs on 4 hits, no errors. Foul ball back to the screen by the shortstop Owen Rush. Low and inside. 2-2 the count. Foul ball. High chopper over into the net by the on-deck circle. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out. As Rush leads off the top of the 6th for the Greyhounds. Turns on that one and fouls it down the right field line. We'll do the 2-2 again. And the pitch. Oh, my goodness.
Wow. That shouldn't have called.
Great.
It should have been strike.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Not sure. Just, I'll say I'm not sure. Here comes the 3-2. Foul ball back and out of play. Five to 3 lead for the Greyhounds. 7-inning game. Blue Devils starting to run short on outs. There's a swing and a miss for the strikeout. So back to the top of the order.
Now batting the right fielder, number 21, Mike Polominski.
Mike Polubinski will step in. He's 2 for 3 in this second game with a double, a single, and a ground out. One and 0 the count. Mike Polubinski. So ball headed into center field. Kern shifts his feet a couple of times and then makes the catch.
Now batting the third baseman, number 15, Luke Stout.
It's going to bring up Luke Stout. He's 1 for 1 with a hit by pitch, a base on balls, and a base hit. Squares to bunt, takes a strike. 0-1 the count. On the third baseman, Luke Stout. The ground ball headed at Golbeck. Golbeck had him played perfectly. And over to Santiago for the 6-3 ground out. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Devils trailing 5-3 from the Greyhounds of Fort Scott. All right, here we go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Blue Devils with some work to do. They trail 5-3. They're down to their last 6 outs to make up this deficit. 5-3 the lead. Santiago, Nolan the 4th, and Pachorik scheduled up. So Santiago moves over to the left-handed side now with the righty reliever Chandler Fowler coming in. Santiago's had 1 for 2 in this one, a fly out to center field and a double Off the glove of the leaping third baseman, Stout. And there's a strike one called, 0-1 the count. Swing and a miss, so quickly 0-2 the count. On the first baseman, Frankie Santiago. That's up high. 1-2 the count. That's inside. 2-2 the count as Santiago leads off the bottom of the sixth inning in this seventh in a 7-inning game scheduled. That's low and inside, so 3-2 the count. High fly ball down into the workout area of the Blue Devils. Down into the bullpen area. Three and two to Santiago. Foul ball back to the screen. We'll do the 3-2 again. High pop up on the infield. Third baseman Stout takes that for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up Freddie Nolan, the fourth.
Now batting the DH, number 22, Freddie Nolan.
Nolan, the fourth, has a solo home run and a fly out to slot in center field. That misses for ball one. There's a strike breaking ball, makes it back to the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. There's a strike fastball outside part of the plate. 1-2 the count. Inside. Would like to see him wear that so we'd have a runner on, and there's strike 3 called. That'll bring up Tanner Pachorik.
Now batting the right fielder, number 3, Tanner Pachorik.
Pachorik's been hit by a pitch and hit a ball to the right side to score a run, gave up his at bat to score a run. A nice job. He steps in. 1-0 the count on him with 2 outs. 2-0 the count now on the right fielder Pachorik. There's a strike outside corner at the belt. There is strike 2, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So ball hit it in. So a 2-out base hit by Pachorik.
A single by Tanner Pachorik.
That'll bring up Levi Martin.
Now batting number 34, Levi Martin.
Levi Martin is from Olathe, Kansas. He pinch hit his last time up, and that was a ground out to the third baseman, Stout. There's a strike called. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs. Runner at first base is Pachorik. There's a ground ball headed into right field. So Pachorik goes first to third
A single
on the
by
base hit by Levi Martin.
Martin.
That's going to bring up Austin Burrows.
Now batting the third baseman, number 7, Austin Burrows.
Burrows has reached on an error and grounded out to the shortstop in this one. Ball in the dirt, blocked nicely by Galuski. Want to know the count? Blue Devils with 2 outs here, but they've got 2 on. They trail by 2 in the dirt. 2-0 the count. Strike on the outside corner. 2-1 the count. That's high and outside. 3-1 the count now on Austin Burrows. Stretch and the 3-1. Strike 2 is called. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first will be off with the pitch. Nobody at second. So the runner at third will not be off with the pitch. There's a ball headed just toward right field, but the second baseman, Shigematsu, couple of steps to his left, our right, and we go to the top of the 7th. Blue Devils trail 5-3. The first pitch swing, little soft liner out into shallow right field. Sorry about the camera was doing book work. I apologize. But nonetheless, a little soft line drive out to Basler for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up Polubinski. Josh takes strike 1. He's been called out on strikes and grounded out twice, so 0 for 3. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Little heater kind of breaking inside. So quickly 0-2 the count on Josh. Polubinski. Misses a little bit low and outside, I presume. 1-2 the count. Outside and low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Top of the 7th inning action. 7-inning scheduled game. Due to the extra innings of the first game. There's a foul ball headed for the woods. We'll do the 2-2 again. Kaimi, Kern, and Pachorik across the outfield. Burrows, Goldbeck, Basler, Santiago with Patterson behind the plate. So from 0-2 to 3-2. Base on balls. 1 out. Joey Little coming to the plate.
Now batting number 11, Joey Little.
Little has grounded out for an RBI, had a base hit, and most recently a strikeout. I believe we have a pinch runner at first base. So Cord Polubinski in to run at first. There's the bunt. And Burrows up with it and over to Santiago for the second out of the inning. So Little with the sac bunt.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Ty Galuski.
Ty Galuski will step in. He's 1 for 3 with a double.
I don't know where that one was.
1-0 the count.
Is it money under the table?
Runner at second base. 1-0 the count.
You feel the pitch, maybe?
He's probably like, oh, I can't call it, you know, 'cause he likes to
It's a foul ball down the left field line. That's going to be way over into the bullpen workout area of the Blue Devils. Another foul ball back. 1-2 the count. One ball, 2 strikes to Ty Galuski, the catcher. There's a ball headed into left field. And an RBI base hit for Galuski. Galuski, I'll get it here in a minute. An RBI.
Now batting the center fielder, number 10, Aiden Slot.
That's going to bring up Slot. Six to 3 now the lead. That misses inside for ball 1. Slot is 1 for 1 in this second game with a base hit, stolen base, and a couple of walks. 1-0 the count on him. There's a ball, one hopper to Goldbeck, and he tosses it over to Basler for the ground out. So 1 run on 1 hit for the Greyhounds, and the Blue Devils are down to their last 3 outs. They trail 6-3. We go to the bottom of the 7th. All right, to the bottom of the 7th we go. Blue Devils trailing by 6-3. They are down to their last 3 outs. Kern, Basler, and Golbeck scheduled up. Lucas Rosenberg, number 27, comes into the game. He also pitched an inning in the first game. He is from Richmond, Missouri, started the day with a 2.89 ERA and a 1-1 record. He'll take the mound here to try and shut down the Blue Devils. The Blue Devils will counter with Kern, Basler, and Golbeck. And if anybody can get on, Patterson. 6 runs on 10 hits and an error by the Greyhounds. 3 runs on 6 hits for the Blue Devils. No errors. And Brady Kern steps in.
For the Blue Devils, the center fielder, number 6, Brady Kern.
Kern has been out on strikes and walked in this one. There's a strike right through there. 1-0 the count. Stays up high. 1-1 the count. Blue Devils with some work to do here. 2 of 3 games so far, counting the 2 on Wednesday, the split. There's a foul ball into the screen. The Fort Scott Community College Blue facing the Blue Devils here, the Greyhounds. They're trying to even this and make it an even 2-2 split for the 4-game series. Here comes the 1-2. There's a ball into shallow center field, and the ball was dropped. So the runner ends up at first place, does Kern. Who made the error, guys? Was it the center fielder or the shortstop made the error? Thank you. So an E6 allows a runner on, and that brings it to Basler. Basler takes strike 1. 0-1 the count. So we'll see if the Blue Devils can make use of that extra out right here that was given up. There's a strike on the outside corner. 0-2 the count. Basler struck out a couple of times and flew out to Little in left field. Breaking ball stays way outside. One ball, two strikes, runner at first base, back to the top of the order. I guess that's where you want to be when you're trailed by 3. There's a ball right at the first baseman, and the 3 down to 6 with the tag. So 3 unassisted, then 3-6 double play. And that's going to bring up Goldbeck. And all of a sudden, the Blue Devils down to their last out. That's going to bring up Goldbeck. Goldbeck has struck out, had a base hit, and reached on a base on balls. There's hit by a pitch. So Goldbeck is hit by a pitch. And that's going to bring up Brady Patterson.
Now batting, the catcher, number 32, Brady Patterson.
Patterson will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Patterson is 0 for 3 in this second game. That's high and inside. 1-0 the count. One ball, no strikes to Patterson, the catcher. There's a strike, breaking ball right through there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outs into their last out. They trail 6-3 here in the bottom of the 7th. 7th inning game. That's up high. 2-1 the count. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So the Blue Devils down to their last strike for the time being. That break. 3-2 the count.
No. You call it a ball. No, it's ball.
So 3-2 the count. Goldbeck will be off with the pitch.
I thought you were like triggering me for a second. I'm like,
There's a ball headed to deep left. And that's going to be out of here.
Home run by Brady.
Brady Patterson brings the Blue Devils
Patterson.
within 1 run with the home run. And that's going to bring up Santiago.
well,
In my head, I was thinking the possibility of the walk and then the home run to tie it up,
Now
but
batting, the
it'll
first
be
baseman,
different
number
than
26,
that.
Frankie Santiago.
Santiago will step in with the Blue Devils trailing by 1 now, a 6-5 game. Get some paperwork done here, making it 6-5. So Patterson with the 2-run home run. Santiago at the plate, and there's strike 2. So the Blue Devils down to their last strike again. Patterson with the 2-strike home run.
be enough.
And way inside.
You also
So 1-2 the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rodenberg on in relief of Fowler, Quarterman, Smith. 1-2 the count. There's a ball headed into right field. So Santiago keep the line moving, I believe, as Rex Hudler would say.
Santiago.
So that'll bring up Freddie Nolan, the fourth. Keep the line moving.
Now batting the DH number 22, Freddie. No.
So Freddie Nolan, the fourth, will step in. Runner at first base, 6-5 now, the lead by the Greyhounds. Nolan, the fourth, had a solo home run in the second, a fly out, and was called out on strikes. I'd like to repeat that at-bat that was in the second inning. There's 1-1. After that, swing and a miss. Nolan, the fourth, up there, 1-1 the count on him. Whistles that grounder past Coach Goldbeck. 1-2 the count. We're going to have a pinch runner. That pinch runner is going to be Jackson.
Pinch runner here for the Blue Devils.
Widener with the pinch run at first base. 1-2 the count. It's a foul ball. See if that gets out of play. And it does, up on top of the dugout. We'll do the 1-2 again. I'm sure the Fort Worth, Texas contingency would love to see a walkout. And there's a ball headed down to left. And it is a walk-off home run, as I just mentioned, from Fort Worth. Fellas, stay away from home plate till they step on the base, and it does. And the Blue Devils have come from behind, and Nolan the fourth with the walk-off home run to finish, and the Blue Devils win 3 of 4 of this 4-game series from Fort Scott.
Wow, wow, and wow. Wow.
The Blue Devils with
two-run shot by
the
Freddie
walk-off by
Nolan,
Freddie
and the Blue
Nolan,
Devils
the
win
fourth.
Game 2 of this one here, 7-6.
Have a great
over
evening.
Fort
The
Scott.
final of this one is
The Blue Devils will be
7-6.
back here at State Fair Community College this Tuesday.
We'll see you on Tuesday. I'll plan to broadcast that game. Have a good evening.